Welcome everyone to episode 7 of Stay on Target, the official Hazard Time podcast. I'm your host Liam. I'm joined today by my co-host Richard. And how are you doing
Howdy.
today, Richard? That's good.
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
So, for today's topic, I figured we would talk about fast food.
About what?
Fast food, like your McDonald's, your Burger King, your Wendy's.
What is with you and food, man?
Well, you don't give me a lot to work with. You don't do much. I ask you if you've watched anything recently. No, I haven't watched any movies, haven't watched any TV. I mean, you know,
I live in the woods.
look, we gonna talk about trees? Want today's topic to be trees?
Well, I don't know.
Skunks?
They could. It could be. It could be.
That's a
That's
boring
not you.
topic. That's,
You think
No.
trees or
That's
skunks
unusual.
is more boring than
I think
fast food?
I think it's a boring topic for a podcast. I think fast food
So
is much more.
fast food.
Fast food is somewhat more interesting than.
No, it is.
Yes, it is.
Listen, if you're living in a world where you think fast food is more interesting than science,
No, I'm
This
not
pro-
saying science. I'm saying fast food is more interesting than trees and skunks.
says you. You don't even know. You don't even know what I do for a living.
Well, okay, especially trees.
Oh, trees are awesome.
I could maybe give you skunks, maybe, but especially trees. Trees don't do shit. Okay, they stand there. Yeah, they make oxygen. Great, whoop-de-doo.
You are displaying complete
But they
ignorance in the science of
no.
dendrology.
They stand there. The most useful thing trees do is we chop them down and turn them into paper.
I think the most useful thing they do is provide oxygen for all of us.
Yeah, other plants and shit do that too. So
Mostly trees.
okay, fine. Yeah,
In fact,
the most interesting.
northern taiga, which is the forest surrounding the Arctic Circle, makes up most of the oxygen that we breathe every year. And the seasonal changes between winter and summer every year are so strong, are so powerful, and so the amount of oxygen they let out is so immense that you can measure the amount of oxygen output in the atmosphere, and it changes throughout the year based on the seasons of that forest.
Thrilling stuff.
It is.
So the most interesting thing about trees is their primary function. Nothing else.
Well,
just the
I never
fact,
said that
just
was
their
the most
existence.
interesting. I said that was one of the more important. You said all they're good for is lumber, and I said no. How about breathing? And you said okay. And now you're trying to tell me that what I said was that's the most interesting thing, which I disagree with. There's lots of cool things that they do, but you would never sit around and listen to it. So I'm not gonna give you the whole spiel.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. You just assume that I'm not going to listen, so you say
You
not
just
going to give
said
it. That's you backing out. That's you
That's not me
copping
backing
out.
out.
Okay.
I'll happily. If you want the conversation to go in that direction, I will do it. But you just said like a minute ago that you wouldn't and that you didn't find it exciting at all.
Whatever you say, whatever helps
That's
you
what you
sleep at night.
said.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. Do they have fast food places around you, Richard? I know they don't have pizza places. Do they have fast food places?
They have some, yeah.
Like what? I mean, the usual.
Not near me. I mean, I have to drive an hour.
An hour. Goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I have to drive an hour to get to the grocery store.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you like?
But
Can you
ask
not
me
buy?
about that.
Can you not buy perishable foods? Then
Oh, I can. We have a refrigerator here. You just have to get it here.
I know, but I
So,
mean,
yeah.
like, is the hour drive not like too long? Like, the milk's already gotten spoiled.
No, it's not too long. But if you're really worried about it, there is a gas station down the road which does have milk and ice cream. So, but I still buy like
The essentials.
stuff from the grocery store.
So I assume it's the generic places like you got a McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't seen like a single Wendy's for miles, but do have McDonald's, Subways, Burger Kings, Dairy Queens, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Five Guys.
So, what's your go-to
That's a good
with those
question.
places? Does it
While I'm
depend on
here
what you want?
in the woods, my go-to's probably like if I don't go to fast food very often, but when I do, which is rare, I'd probably try to go to Chipotle. If you're not going to include Chipotle, because it's kind of there's different levels of fast food, and the fastest of fast foods, where I'd put like the McDonald's and the Burger Kings of that category, I think my go-to would be Taco Bell. So you're seeing a theme there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Now, with you living a mile away, does that
Dairy
give you?
Queen
I mean,
too.
an hour away.
Their dessert mostly.
With you living an hour away, does that give you incentive to go to Subway? Because fast food isn't gonna last the hour back to your house.
When I
So
get fast
does that
food,
give?
I don't even bother bringing it back to the house. I just eat it there.
I know, but does that make you want to have Subway instead? Because you could bring Subway back to the house, and I would rather eat at the house than eat at the fast food place.
Um, I never thought about it like that.
Because you don't have to get.
So
I
I
don't.
just eat there, and then I buy my groceries, and then I go home.
I mean, do you get your Subways hot? You get your subs hot, or do you get them cold?
It depends on the day. A little bit of both.
I usually like them cold because they always cook them too much when it's hot.
True, they
They always burn the subs.
do burn them more often than I would like. I'll give you that.
Yeah. What do you get, Subway?
Sometimes I get like a turkey and salami sandwich. Other times I'll get their like steak sandwich. Some
I
sort
usually
of.
go with turkey bacon. Turkey and bacon is usually what I get. I know bacon's a little extra, but it's worth it.
It is very good. What's your favorite? What's your go-to?
It's tough. Honestly, my go-to for fast food is pizza. But if we're not including that, I guess it kind of depends on what I want. Sometimes I might want a sub more than I want a burger.
Right.
But I guess it's tough because they're all so inconsistent at times. Like if you talk about the big three, which I think are Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's, they're so inconsistent that you never really know if it's going to be good. And then you don't go enough. You're like, well, which one do I like better? Do I like Burger King better, or do I like McDonald's better? I don't really
they're
know.
all better for different. I think so. For me, of the big three that you just mentioned, Wendy's has my favorite fries. But actually, I'll just tell you, I think Wendy's is the best of the big three that you just talked about. And my least favorite by far is Burger King.
I would probably say Wendy's too, because I really like the Frosty. Wendy's is definitely king when it comes to the chicken sandwiches. The home style chicken sandwich is the best. Fries, I would say, I would probably go with Burger King in general for fries because they're the biggest.
Man, that's
I like that.
Dark horse candidate. I feel like nobody has said that Burger King has the best fries before.
I like a big fry, and now McDonald's has good fries too, but they got to be fresh. If you don't get McDonald's fries fresh, they're trash.
Yeah, they're just too often. I feel like they're given to me stale.
Yeah, it's such a gamble that I wouldn't even risk it. I think for McDonald's, if I'm not getting like a simple burger, I'm just getting the nuggets and calling it a day. Because the nuggets are good too.
I get that.
But yeah, and I'd say with the burgers, Burgers specifically, it's about all the same. You know, it depends on your luck, really, if it's going to be good or not. Which shouldn't
Yeah.
be the way it is, but it is. I do like Baconator Wendy's.
For a while, for just a little bit, Wendy's had like a pretzel bun for their bacon burgers. Oh my god, it was so good.
Well, yeah, Wendy's also had this like maple thing. It was like a chicken with Swiss and bacon with
Mm.
this maple sauce. I took the maple sauce off because I just like mayonnaise on my burgers and chicken sandwiches.
Hmm.
It's pretty good.
So you got it without the main thing that made it what it is.
Yeah, all I cared about was the chicken and bacon. Chicken and bacon is underrated.
Fair enough.
And
Hang on.
Sonic, like Sonic 2.
Sonic is maybe good. I think I went there like twice in my life.
Yeah, the milkshakes are really good. They're half price right now.
Ooh.
I get the Oreo chocolate milkshake.
That sounds good. I think you told me before that you've like never been to Dairy Queen.
No, I might have, but I strongly think I haven't.
Well, Dairy Queen has very good desserts. It's like what it's known for, I think, and they're very good, including Blizzards, which are kind of like their McFlurry, basically.
Right. See,
And it's pretty
I don't
good.
know, I don't know why, but I've been, I guess recently I've been on such like a Oreo kick. I've
Good,
been
man.
liking Oreos a lot. See, because the thing with me is I'm really such a stickler for like texture in my food. So if
Mhm.
I'm eating like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that needs to be smooth. If I bite
Oh
into a
yeah,
chunk of
I
strawberry, I
definitely know
hate
what you're
that.
talking about. I agree with you.
And like if I'm eating ice cream, I don't want to eat strawberry ice cream and bite a thing of strawberry. Ice cream should be soft. But it
That I
doesn't
don't
bother
agree
me.
with you with the ice cream bit, but I definitely agree with you with the texture thing in general.
Yeah, and like mashed potatoes, you don't want a chunk of skin in your mashed potatoes.
No, I don't.
And I guess for some reason the real exception for me is Oreos. Like if I'm eating ice cream, I mean they have like Oreo, like I think it's cookies and cream is basically Oreo ice cream. It's just not real Oreos, but I don't mind cookies and cream, even though it's the mixing the texture, and I don't mind an Oreo milkshake if I have a bite of Oreo.
Huh?
It doesn't have
Interesting.
to be. An Oreo cheesecake is really good.
I don't like
Have you ever had
cheesecake.
Oreo cheesecake?
I don't like cheesecake.
Oh, you know, cheesecake, man.
Don't know what
What?
to tell you.
I mean, what do you usually have with it? I mean, is it the Nilla wafer or the graham cracker?
With what?
The
Cheesecake?
the crust, like, is the crust Nilla wafers or graham crackers?
I have no idea. I don't eat cheesecakes enough to even.
Because
I I don't like them like at all.
peak cheesecake has Nilla wafer crust. Don't let anybody tell you different. Graham cracker crust is not that good.
I
Do
feel
you
like I
like
would
Nilla
disagree
wafers?
because I love graham crackers.
So you don't like Nilla wafers though?
Not as much as graham crackers.
Yeah, the graham crackers are good. I'm just saying I don't think they don't work with the cheesecake as well uh,
Hmm.
as Nilla
That may be
wafers do.
so. I don't know.
I bet you would like Oreo cheesecake though, because
No, I really can't stand cheesecake. I mean, I think it's kind of
well,
revolting.
it's like it's like not anything. I don't think it's anything like cheesecake. I mean,
Why?
it's Oreo. Like the crust is crumbled up Oreo
Right, but the
shells.
crust isn't my problem with cheesecake. It's the actual cheesecake.
Well, the cheesecake is just like Oreo and some cream cheese. I mean,
Right, but cream cheese is disgusting.
can you think cream cheese is disgusting, man?
I think it's gross.
What do you put on your bagels?
I don't put cream cheese on
What do you put on them?
them.
Butter, like a simpleton.
Frequently jelly
Jelly.
or
Weird.
cheese, but like regular, like cheese, not cream cheese.
Cheese on a bagel? Like sliced American cheese on a bagel? That's weird.
Well, I'm really more thinking like a bagel sandwich. At that point, I think.
Yeah. It's weird. If I do a bagel sandwich, I just get a bagel, cream cheese, throw a slice of turkey or whatever on it.
Yeah, I do not use cream cheese because it is gross.
I love cream cheese. You like mozzarella cheese?
Yes, I do.
Mozzarella's good.
Mozzarella is
Don't
very.
like cream cheese.
I mean, I like most cheese, but not that one.
Do you remember the family fight episode of Sunny?
Yes, I do.
What is this enticing bowl of white?
What is that? That's Charlie. That's cottage cheese. Aren't you a cheese man?
I don't know cottages. Some guy's cottage.
Cheese from some cottage? What cottage?
Oh, what is this enticing bowl of white? I know this will mean nothing to you, but I just recently started binging Rick and Morty.
I like that show.
You've seen it? Wow.
Yes, I have.
Would have lost that bet.
I think that show's very good.
Have you? I feel like I'm going to win a bet on this question. Have you seen all of it? Have you seen season 3?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I definitely have.
It's a good show.
It is very good.
I don't know why. First episode didn't grasp me too much.
No, the first one, I don't know. I think it took them some time to figure out their whole thing.
The episode with all the commercials, that was really good.
Oh yeah, that was excellent.
They're improvising their commercials
Yeah,
like two brothers. The two brothers thing. And then I really liked I also liked the episode where they go to another planet and it's the men all primitive and dumb, and then the women live in the higher society. And
I think I just saw that one recently.
it's a pretty good show. It's weird watching going straight from season 2 to season 3 because wasn't there like a 10-year time span between them or something?
No, it wasn't that bad. There was a little bit of time though.
It's always kind of weird when you don't experience a time gap that like everyone else would have experienced.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because then things don't quite mean as much.
It's a good show though.
I agree.
But,
I'm trying to think what my favorite. Have you seen? It's not my favorite or anything, but have you seen the episode where there's like a parasite that infects your brain, so you have fake memories?
oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, they keep having to like remember, like if somebody would show up and they're like, it's our zany uncle or whatever.
There was Sleepy Gary.
Sleepy Gary. And the like butler guy that they had and
Mr. Beauregard.
yeah.
Which is weird because I heard
It's like their uncle would always say like, "Hey, I'm walking here."
I mean, I'm walking here. I mean, I'm not walking. I'm crouching in a vent, but I'm walking here. I'm walking here, but I'm not walking, but I'm walking here. It was good.
Yeah.
I'm walking here. I'm off to... Sure can get dark sometimes too, boy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you ever watch Twin Peaks?
Yeah, I love Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is such a great show.
Is Dimitri the one who like wouldn't watch it?
Maybe, I don't know. I
Maybe it
mean, if
wasn't him. I feel like I have a friend who like was dead set on not watching it.
I know he's seen some of it. I don't think he's seen all of it, but he's definitely seen some of Twin Peaks.
Mhm. I love that show.
And you haven't seen season 3 yet, have you?
I've seen all of season 3, but the last episode.
Oh. Season 3
But
is
I
good.
wasn't really enthused by it much.
It's such a good show. I feel like if I were
That's what
to,
it's like when I'm out here, because I'm working in the Northwest, out there in the woods, and it feels a lot like Twin Peaks.
yeah,
It's
I
pretty
feel like
crazy.
if I if I was in charge of making another season of Lost, which a part of me does hope that they don't ever make another season of Lost, but if
Why
I
would
was
they?
in, you know that they're always doing like, let's bring this back, let's make some money off of this.
That's true. You're right. Nothing is safe.
I, I guess I am a little at ease by the whole '80s nostalgia thing that's been going on for the last 7 years. So I guess that's good that we're like obsessing over the '80s.
So that we don't obsess with other things.
Yeah, I guess I gotta worry in like 30 years when we get into 2000s nostalgia.
Yeah.
But if I were to make another season of Lost, I, honestly, I would just make it like Twin Peaks season 3. Because
I mean, it
Twin
was
Peaks,
good. I just didn't like it as much.
Twin Peaks season 3 is barely a TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's so much like, okay, we're gonna cut to this character, see what this character is up to. Okay, you saw what that character's up to. It's not important. Don't worry about that. We're gonna cut back to this character now.
Yeah. Nothing feels like. Yeah, it was weird.
It's like characters aren't in there to be characters in the show, more to like to show you what they've been up to. Let's flash over to Jake so and so, see what he's been up to in the last 25 years. Okay. And with any other show, it would bother you and you would hate it, but you don't because it's
Yeah,
just so
true.
good. It's
Yeah, I
like,
get that.
and because that's the most important thing. I think if they were to make another season of Lost, the most important thing would just be make it as good as possible.
Well, that
Because
should be the most important thing when you're making anything.
well, yeah, but because something like that, a new season of Lost, there's no way it's going to get universal acceptance.
It's
Some people are
true.
going to hate it, and hopefully some people like it. Hopefully it's not everybody hates it, but it's very rare to get universal acceptance for stuff, especially nowadays. So,
Right.
so I feel like you just make it as good as possible. So even if like someone could say, yeah, I didn't really like the story or what they did with the characters, but boy, like the acting was really good and the directing was really good. I gotta hand it to him. Like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I'm still trying to figure out what the whole point of that movie was, but it was good.
Yeah, it's like I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Just like I think Twin Peaks is one of the greatest TV shows ever made.
Twin Peaks was something else. I love that show.
But, oh man, season 3. I just love the season 3. Like, you remember the shootout when
With
the do you know Tim Roth?
not by name, yes.
Oh, he was in the van with like his girlfriend, and this Siberian guy wants to pull up into his driveway, and he's like, "You're in my driveway." And they're like, "We're not in your driveway, f off." They're like, "Okay, fine." So he starts ramming their car, and then they like shoot him, and then he starts like shooting him. It's just like this random shootout in the middle of the
Oh, that
street,
sounds familiar. Yeah.
and like they're like the bad guys of the season sent to kill Cooper, and just like some random Siberian accountant shows up, just mows them down because they were parked too close to his driveway. It's
Yeah.
like perfect.
I also really liked shoot, what am I trying to Oh, this isn't really the same thing because you're saying how that came out of nowhere and that was a good thing, and I'm about to go over that and say that one of my favorite parts was one of the things that was like actually part of the plot. But the like woodsmen, I think, or what they were called, maybe, but like those weird ghostly truckers.
Gotta like.
Yeah, I loved them.
Of course, that was like one of the best episodes of TV. That whole thing,
Yeah, yeah, it was.
and because it's random stuff, but it's not random within the confines of the show. It's like one of the most important episodes of Twin Peaks. You just got to understand it. You just got to
Yeah,
figure it out. It's like
yeah,
we're gonna give you all this important backstory, but we're gonna give it to you in a dead language that no one speaks. So
right.
have fun deciphering it.
Like this is going to be important, and you can tell that this is important, but we're not going to really give you any way to decipher it.
Grabs the microphone. This is the water, and this is the well. Drink full and ascend. Oh,
Yeah,
so
that
good.
was something else.
But it starts with a nuclear bomb. Okay,
Yeah,
I feel like I've said this 100 times. You get a nuclear bomb involved in a story, you got my vote.
I wouldn't say always, but
Pretty much always for me.
have you seen
Yeah,
Doctor Strangelove?
of course.
Oh, it's a great movie.
One of the best directors, Bear Kubrick.
Oh yeah, I
You,
love that movie. That's a good. That's a good atomic bomb movie.
I don't think you have any director who has such success in multiple genres as
True.
Kubrick.
That's a good point. Because like I feel like every movie he does is a different genre almost.
And every movie, somewhere could place it on the best, best films of that genre. Like if you're talking best war films, you could see Full Metal Jacket high up on that list. Best
Oh
horror,
yeah,
you could see Shining.
yeah.
I feel like you wouldn't see Doctor Strangelove amongst best comedies. Well, I think that might be a little disappointing in my opinion. And not
Oh, I
make.
don't know though.
I think if you talk about black comedies, then I think Doctor Strangelove would definitely be up there.
That's true.
But that is a more distinct
More-
subset of comedies.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, definitely with hard sci-fi. I mean, how many hard sci-fi films are there? Blade Runner and 2049 are about it.
Hmm.
Because with sci-fi, it's such sci-fi hard sci-fi is such a difficult sell.
Uh,
It's why you got to muddle it with another franchise. I mean, with another genre. You got to do horror sci-fi, drama sci-fi, action adventure sci-fi.
yeah, I guess you're right, but I don't know. Like, what kind of what do you call, let's say, like Ex Machina?
I would call Ex Machina hard sci-fi, but
Exclusively, or do you think it's something else also?
it could be. It has been a while since I've seen it. I mean, there's definitely some like thriller elements, but I feel like that is inherent to sci-fi, to hard sci-fi though.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's really mostly just a sci-fi.
Maybe
But,
it's
oh
like
man, that was a good one.
it is good, but I think it fits in the pattern because I don't think that did that great. I mean,
No,
like money wise, I know reception wise it did very well.
yeah, but you're right.
But like if you look at what some people would consider the best sci-fi movies, usually usually they got another genre in there really muddling it up. Like Alien and Aliens, those are.
True.
I mean, it's real horror. I think Aliens is much more horror. Wait,
No,
Aliens is more action than
yeah,
Alien, correct?
Aliens is an action sci-fi. Alien is a
Yeah,
horror sci-fi.
because you don't really get those like themes that. Uh,
It's not the same as like watching Gattaca, which is like exclusively sci-fi.
Gattaca. What made you think of Gattaca?
I don't know. I was just thinking of hard sci-fi,
Yeah.
and I like that movie, so that one comes to mind a lot.
It's funny with that movie because we watched it in one of my like in some of my classes in high school, and I had
Mm.
Brandon Helsing was in that class with me, and it was so funny because my teacher, she had clearly never seen this movie, so she's like, okay, we're gonna watch this movie, and it's about this guy who does blah 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 blah, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then we turn it on, and it's none of that. It's a completely different movie, and then
Nice.
and then we just couldn't get over the fact that his shower doubles as an incinerator.
Yeah, that is. I never thought of that.
Me and Brandon, we call it fire shower. You got a fire shower.
Is that really just a shower?
Well, it works as both. It's a shower that you can also use as an incinerator.
Right, but that was the same like thing. Like his incinerator was also the thing that he used as a shower.
Yeah, because he would take a shower and then he wouldn't want any like skin particles left over from the shower, so we would after he got out of the
Right.
shower, he would light the incinerator on
That's
so it would
right.
burn all the excess skin cells.
Well, so at least it has a practical purpose.
And then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, he's like crippled, so he crawls into the shower and then he
Incinerates himself.
yeah, he starts taking a shower, so it's like beating on him and he's crying and he's sad, and then he switches it to fire mode to kill himself.
Well, but it does make sense. I mean,
It's a
if people
very
were to find his DNA, he would be like executed. So you would go to great lengths to hide that, including turning your shower into a crematorium
fire shower.
live shower.
But
That's pretty funny.
I feel like Gattaca. I feel like Gattaca has another genre in there too, though. That I'd have to think about. Maybe a little drama.
I think it's a complete, just like hard sci-fi.
I'd have to see it again. I I, I just remember. You probably haven't seen The League, have you? The TV show The League.
Have not.
There's a character. He was kind of crazy, and he went paintballing with the group, and he just started. He decided that he was gonna, betray his team and just paintball everybody.
Uh huh.
So he started screaming Gattaca, Gattaca, thinking that was Attica. He's like Gattaca,
Right.
Gattaca.
That's
And then-
funny.
And then there was another character. He wasn't that bright, and he goes, "I don't think he's even seen that movie."
That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, hardcore sci-fi movies they don't do that well.
No, which is a shame because they tend to be some of my favorites.
You want to know what's a movie that doesn't
Yes,
get.
you want to know what's a movie. What is a movie, Liam?
You want to know a movie that doesn't get enough recognition for its significance?
What's that?
And I'm gonna get some shit for this, but I'm ready. It's the 1933 Frankenstein.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Well, because this was the first in a lot of genres. It's definitely one of the first, popular horror movies. One of the first popular sci-fi films.
Yeah, okay, true, true.
Uh, I mean, it started the like
Is that to thank the movie or just the source material? Because the source material was also one of the first popular science fiction and horror.
well, and I guess it's just a lucky coincidence for Frankenstein. But I mean, if you specifically, look at movies, it's definitely one of the first popular horror movies. I know there was like Nosferatu. I think that definitely came out before. But I don't think that was as popular as Frankenstein.
No.
And I think there was Dracula. I think
Dracula came out before Frankenstein.
Yeah, but I don't think that was as popular either. And there was, having seen both of them, there was Frankenstein was definitely a step up from Dracula. There was like a lot of
I agree with you.
production-wise.
But that might be because it was riding off the success of Dracula.
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, because I went there for a while watching all those Universal monster movies.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they got a lot of them. I never ended up watching them all. I don't remember where I left
I've
off.
seen Frankenstein. I've seen. Do you count The Creature from the Black Lagoon? Yeah.
I think you do, yeah.
I've seen that one. I've seen The Wolf Man. I don't think I've seen Dracula. But I might have.
I mean, that's the original cinematic universe. Sorry, Marvel, but
Yeah.
and I think one of the first monster movies, one of the first B movies, and the sequel, Bride of Frankenstein, the first female monster movie.
And even to this day, there aren't that many.
Mm.
Most of the female-led monster movies aren't really monster movies so much as they are just horror movies.
Or B movies.
There's a lot of women ghosts.
Yeah.
Not a lot of women creatures.
I mean, like what the most popular ones are like Bride of Frankenstein and Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a female vampire movie? I'm sure there is. But is there a big one?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
I feel like they did a Daughter of Dracula, but I can't be completely sure.
Oh, that sounds kind of familiar.
Because they do a lot of blank of blanks, and it can get a little confusing.
True.
'Cause I know they did Bride of Frankenstein, they did Son of Frankenstein, they did Ghost of Frankenstein. Then there was like House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein. Those were like crossover movies.
Yeah. Have you read Frankenstein?
No, I haven't.
You should do that. It's very good.
I may at one point. I don't
And
know
also,
why.
It's a recently there was a production of Frankenstein put on starring Benedict Cumberbatch and the other guy, some other guy, I forget his name.
The other guy.
And each night they would take turns playing either Frankenstein or the monster. So like one night, if you went to see it, Benedict Cumberbatch would be the monster, but then like if you went to see it the next night, Benedict Cumberbatch would be Dr. Frankenstein. Anyway, they recorded that, they recorded one of the performances, and I went to go see that like in a movie theater in Ithaca, I think, and that was like that was really good. I mean,
Mm.
that was like class A. That was masterpiece.
Mm. It's a good story,
It is good. Yeah,
and it's
it is.
and it's classic sci-fi too. It's because all the themes in it are sci-fi themes, even though it's not really sciency.
Well, it's pretty sciencey still, I think. Or I mean, it's not like
No, I mean,
it's more phi than it is psi, but it still counts.
yeah, but there's a big difference between Frankenstein and like Blade Runner. I mean, there's flying cars and androids,
I
and
would argue
Frankenstein.
that there's more psi in Frankenstein than there is in Blade Runner. Because in Blade Runner, it's not like they ever talk about, other than the replicants. Obviously, they talk a lot about the replicants and how that works, but everything else is just world building stuff. It doesn't really have anything to do with science. It's
Well,
just we
well, I
just
guess
know
I'm.
science that got it there.
I guess what I'm saying is like Blade. I guess Frankenstein. It's the less generalized image of science fiction because I feel like nowadays
It's
you
not like a
think
future world.
yeah
Thing.
nowadays when you think science fiction you think Blade Runner, you think
I think you think
huge cities and flying cars and
what I think the big thing, what you could like really draw a line somewhere or use different words, is that when most people are thinking sci-fi, I think they're really thinking like tech-fi. You know what I mean? Like our image of science fiction is all about the science of modern technology, the robots, flying cars, all that. But that's not all of. I mean, technically, you could make a movie that was sci-fi and include none of that, and just have the science that is fictionalized be like biology. You know what I mean? Which is really more like Frankenstein.
uh, I think the sci-fi genre nowadays is it's kind of like dying.
I
And
don't think so.
it, well, here's the problem, and I don't know where this came from. I'd have to look into it more. But Red Letter Media was talking about this, and they were right. A huge problem with sci-fi nowadays is technobabble.
There's
Just
a lot of
just too much technobabble, and
that's true.
uh, I I guess it all came from they were watching season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, which seemed pretty bad based on what
Yeah.
they were saying. But
Well, I think it is not supposed to be that good.
it's like it's just technobabble. That was like the worst part of Agents of that crappy Agents of Shield TV show is all the
But I
technobabble.
think that's not a mark of science fiction nowadays. I think that's a mark of bad science fiction.
Yeah,
And there is still good science fiction, like Ex
but the
Machina and Annihilation. I guess both came out of the same studio and stuff, but those are both really good.
yeah, but the problem is that the technobabble of the bad science fiction is more popular because the dum dums can go and watch that and not feel alienated, and that's what they turn to.
I see
So
what
that's becoming more and more frequently because studios want to make money. They want people to see it, and there's more dum dums than there are smart people. So the dum dums would
I
rather
do
go.
think, but I don't know if that's how it is nowadays. I mean,
I think it's getting
yeah,
there.
I just think that there's more science fiction now than there ever was before, which
That's all
means more room for bad ones also. You know what I mean?
because
Like
then
if you think about it, every single Marvel movie that came out was in a way science fiction.
that's another problem with the sci-fi. Sci-fi and nerd culture has been taken over by the jocks. It's too cool now.
It's too cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
the jocks have taken over science. The jocks have taken
So
over
here's a
nerd
question for
culture.
you then. What do you think is your sorry, let me try speaking again. What is your favorite and or you think the best science fiction movie that came out in the past, I don't know, 4 years?
4 years? Ooh, well, I'd probably say Blade Runner 2049.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet, but I intend to.
And that's like definitely an outlier. If I didn't have that, and you gave me the 4-year time window, I don't know what I would say. Maybe Annihilation. After
I would
that,
say, yeah, I would say Annihilation of the ones I've seen anyway.
and then you
Which I
got
have that book actually. I just read it. Um, it's a good book. Annihilation. It's pretty good.
after
But
Annihilation. I'd say you got Ex Machina, but that's still going back some. What about? Hold on, I gotta look.
those are the ones that we got. Let's see. Let me think. Oh
I mean,
yeah, I mean obviously Jurassic World 2.
oh yeah. Let me see,
You know,
is it the Lifeless? Yeah, it's no. There's some movie I can't remember what it's called now.
um,
Shoot.
let's see. Arrival was okay.
Arrival.
You know my thoughts on Interstellar, which were
You go back a little bit more, you get to Primer, which is great.
The Martian was good.
Well, Martian was okay.
I liked it.
They got some technobabble there, but
They do, but I thought it was good. I liked it.
Coherence is great. Eye Origins.
I think Interstellar would be like close to the bottom for me.
Maybe Timeless, is that what it is?
Did you ever see
No
Chappie?
Time. I saw Chappie. I like Chappie.
How was it?
I thought it was good.
I
I know a
haven't
lot of
seen it.
people hate Chappie.
I've seen obviously District 9 and the other one, Elysium.
Elysium. Elysium was good too.
I've never had a wife.
I've always wanted a wife.
I've always wanted a wife.
No, Elysium. I gotta watch Elysium again sometime.
Yeah, so do I. I just want to see the scene where the guy's like grilling an entire pig on a samurai sword on the roof.
He gets some call in that he doesn't like. He just kicks the grill over. The whole thing falls off
Hey,
the roof.
Kruger, we need you to go take out Matt Damon.
Oh, I can't find this movie, and it's just gonna bother me.
Describe.
It's like two. I mean, I doubt you've seen it, but it's like two brothers. They were part of two brothers, and then two brothers in a van, and then a meteorite shows up, and now they're on the run from the Mexican Armada.
Yeah, is that the movie you're talking about?
No, it's like two brothers were part of a cult, and then they had left the cult, and so now the movie centers around them going back to the cult, and they start to like, okay, wait a second, maybe the crazy stuff that the cult was saying, maybe that is true.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. There was the OA on Netflix. That was pretty decent.
Oh, there was something else. What was I just thinking of? Shoot, I just had it in my brain. Already, I forgot.
A lot of those like cheesy TV shows are a big problem. Like the Agents of Shield and the Flash. A lot of techno babble in the Flash too.
Yeah, yeah. We're saturated with bad sci-fi.
Especially in TV.
Black Mirror
MCW.
is good sci-fi.
Yeah.
The Flash is bad sci-fi.
Those sci-fi movies. Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, that was horrible.
I liked it.
That movie was trash. You liked that movie?
Hell yeah, man.
God, that movie was just absolute garbage.
Cloud Atlas. I saw Cloud Atlas.
So did I.
Extinction. I saw Extinction with Michael Pena. Yeah, it was okay. Skyline. Like me some Skyline.
That movie was even more trash than Cloverfield Paradox.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh my God, Rim of the World.
Encounters of the Third Kind. Let me plug that for a second. That's not a new one, obviously. That's from like the 70s. But oh my God, is that movie fantastic? That's like one of the best. I think that's one of my favorite sci-fi movies, like of all time, for sure.
Have you heard of Rim of the World?
No, I have not.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
Maybe.
If
Uh,
if you ever want to watch like 5 minutes of a Netflix movie and then you know have to
oh,
close
I
it
saw the Netflix. I saw the advertisement for it or whatever.
and it looked pretty bad, right?
Yeah, it looked horrible.
It's worse than it looks.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and oh my God, I feel like I said this. I said this once on my channel. I don't remember when. Maybe it was an update. But please stop putting Vine stars in movies. They're not good. They don't know how to act. They're not good. Vine is dead. Let them, you know, it's time for their popularity to die too.
I didn't realize that was a phenomenon that was happening.
It's happening, especially on these Netflix original movies. I don't know why, but oh my God, Stardust. I hear a lot of good things about Stardust.
Oh, I don't think I've heard anything good, bad, or otherwise about it.
Maybe it's something else I'm thinking about.
I mean, it might be, but
I think it's Stardust. There's Legion. I saw Legion too.
I've seen, as far as sci-fi TV shows go, there's a show on Netflix called Dark, which is a German TV show, and you got to watch it in German with the English subtitles on. But it's like a more grown-up, scarier, Stranger Things kind of.
Right.
But oh my gosh, that show's really good.
So I found the movie I was talking about. It's called The Endless.
The Endless.
It's pretty good. And see, I like the mind-bending science fiction films.
I have not heard of this thing.
It's pretty good. See, I'm just looking at like sci-fi films on Netflix now to see what comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Chappie is on Netflix.
Is it really? Oh, shoot, what was I just gonna say? God, I keep the minute I think of it, I start to speak and then it's gone.
That's dementia.
What was I just? Yeah. What was? Oh, I remember. Have you seen Snowpiercer?
I have seen Snowpiercer.
What are your thoughts on that one?
I thought it was pretty
Is that
good.
even sci-fi? It is, right?
Sci-fi?
Or not quite?
I
No,
don't
not
know.
really.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I mean,
I guess probably not.
I feel like you could call it sci-fi, but I feel like if you start calling too many things sci-fi, it devalues what sci-fi is.
True. I think it has notes of sci-fi.
I mean, just because something has like science things that are fictional doesn't mean it's sci-fi.
Yeah, not in the same way that other. Yeah, okay, I get it.
When I look at sci-fi, I look at more like the themes of sci-fi. Themes that are extremely heavy in movies like Blade Runner and 2001 and Ex Machina. Themes of like man and machine and what it means to be human, your place in the world.
There's a lot of that.
Snowpiercer doesn't really go into anything like that.
Yeah, no, not really.
They have Cop Car on Netflix. That was good.
Here's a sci-fi series that I have to plug as a requirement for every podcast. I feel like Planet of the Apes. Very good sci-fi. I mean, the original is very good sci-fi, and then there's kind of a mixed bag after that. But one of them, anyway, Conquest for the Planet of the Apes, which is like the fourth in the series. Also, very good sci-fi.
Those are the ones with Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah, haha, very funny. And also the three new ones, the Andy Serkis ones, are pretty good sci-fi also, but they're kind of more like action. They're not.
Now, as not having seen any of the original ones before Dawn, would you say the new ones are more sci-fi than the originals?
No, I would not say that. I would say that they're a different kind, though. So, like the Andy Circus ones, especially the first one of theirs, Rise, is a lot of,
Rise.
um, you know, it was all about fictional medicine science, like medicinal science and um, animal communication science, like all that. That felt like sci-fi that we're used to, you know. And then the two other ones, Dawn and War, kind of once you figured out, like once you were used to the apes talking, there wasn't really a lot of science left, just kind of more like throwaway things. Like in the spoiler alerts, in the third one, there's that virus mutation that makes people like go nuts or can't speak and stuff. And I mean, just the fact that it's a virus, I guess you can call it like sci-fi. But other than the fact that the apes are speaking, that's the only thing that really makes it. And well, and the themes, as you were saying, I guess, see the whole question of what it means to be human and our place in the world and that kind of thing.
I guess it's
Whereas
almost like, now I think of it, it could also be like devolved sci-fi, because usually science fiction is like humanity, like humans and robot humanity. Now it's like human and ape humanity, which is like a step backwards.
right,
Planet of
true.
the Apes needs to start inventing robots. You could like skip over the humans. It could be robots and it could be apes and robots.
Well, yeah, that'd be
And
weird. But
and robots can start questioning their uh, ape manity. Uh, what would it be? Ape, simian manity?
I think it would be apity.
Apity?
Yeah, because it's
It can't be
human.
that. It's got to be
Its
something.
humanity is just human itty. So if there, it would be ape itty.
It's got to be something better than that. Because that sounds dumb.
Apeness
Well, what's the S word for apes?
simian
Simian. So it could be simian ity.
or primate primatity.
Well, no, because we're primates, so that doesn't really count.
True, fair enough.
That's just like if I feel like that if it was
I think
humans
it
and
would be
apes,
apehood.
apehood, apehood, apes together, strong.
I love those movies so much. Oh, they're so good. But the original ones, um, also very sci-fi, but kind of in a different way because it was less about the science of how the apes got there or anything like that, and really more just well, the original one wasn't even that much of a sci-fi beyond the fact that they time travel accidentally, spoiler, and that there are talking apes. The science is not much. However, in the other one, in the sequels, they keep adding more and more. So, like in one of the sequels, there's a population of mutants that lives underground and they worship the atomic bomb, and that's like a whole thing. And then there's more time travel. And in the Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, that one's pretty sci-fi heavy. But that's where there's like this takes place in the future, and all cats and dogs died off. So he even started replacing their pets with apes, which is weird, but whatever. And then they started realizing that they could use their apes for like forced labor. So the apes became like a class of slaves, sort of. And then there's the super intelligent ape who was born from the future, but he's back here, sort of. And then he gets the apes together, and they rise up and they revolt. And it's kind of the whole theme is like race relations and stuff like that. But that one's definitely like sci-fi.
Right. Now I've been scrolling on this list of sci-fi films, and I had to stop until I got a moment to mention it. But they got. I wonder if you remember. Do you remember this movie? They got Race to Witch Mountain.
Oh my god, with Dwayne?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's not wrong, right? I never saw it, but I don't know.
What a random movie, but I mean, I don't.
Tell me if they have this movie on there.
What?
Delgo.
Delgo. How do you spell that?
Delgo.
All right. Okay, Delgo.
I don't think it's sci-fi. I think it's fantasy.
No,
Actually,
they don't have Delgo on the thing at all, but they have a lot of.
you don't remember Delgo, do you?
No.
You should Google that one real quick.
Delgo. Delgo.
If you
What
want
the hell is
nightmares.
this? What's the movie with like the fairy people, and then there's like the one girl who's like a redhead with in it.
Recently,
I feel like it was more recently than Delgo.
was it CGI?
Yeah,
Wasn't there a movie called Epic?
I think it might have been Epic.
I think that's what you're thinking of. Yes, that's definitely what you're thinking of.
Epic movie? No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah.
There's a redheaded girl. There's all those little fairies, and
Hey man, it's 2018. Okay, that's not appropriate. I mean, it's 2019.
yeah, you can't even get your year right, buddy. Oh, you know what's another great sci-fi show?
What?
I can't believe we forgot to mention was
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
well, at least the first season. The second season was good. It was clearly good, but it wasn't as good as the first season though. Was Westworld. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my god. That was really good.
You know, like what I'm thinking with TV at this point is I'm kind of done watching TV.
I'm kind of the exact opposite.
Like, I feel like I've reached a point in my life where I'm not gonna watch a new episode of a TV show that I haven't seen before.
That seems very odd.
I just feel I'm done. You know, it's just they don't release TV shows how I would like them to be released. There's no way for me to watch TV shows.
Are you
And
saying that just because like you don't have cable?
Well, no, but here's the thing. Like, okay, well, first I'll state my problem with the Netflix formula, the binge watching. Okay, like yeah, you drop 16 episodes, you watch all those 16 episodes in like a week, and then a year goes by, and within that year you forget what happened in that season because it's been so long, and you
A
just end up
rebuttal to that is that you don't have to watch them in a week. You know, just because they upload them doesn't mean you have the ability to make your own schedule.
Oh, yeah, but come on, who's gonna do that?
You could. I do. I don't usually binge anything.
And then the other problem, I mean, here's the problem with cable and like, because if it was a week by week, that's fine, but it's not week by week. It'll be, you know, they'll do episode 1 will be 1 week, episode 2 will be another week, episode 3, then 4, and then you turn in a week. Like, where's episode 5? Oh, episode 5, they're taking a week off. Then they'll do 3 more. They'll take 2 weeks off. And then do a couple more. They'll take a month off. They'll do 1 more. No, that's the mid-season finale. You gotta wait 3 more months to watch
But
it.
that's not always the case.
It's
for one.
it's pretty often the case.
Not
Yeah.
entirely.
More often than not, it's the case. It's been like this for a while.
I wouldn't say more often than not.
I would
I
say
think
more.
certain shows, sure, certain types of shows, maybe even, but I mean, most of the shows that I end up watching only have like 10 episodes a season anyway, so it's not like they have a lot of.
If it's a 22 episode season, I want 22 episodes over the course of 22 weeks. One episode
fair.
a week, back to back. Nobody does that.
That's true. I don't really watch 22 episode TV shows anymore.
And it's the inconsistency. I just can't. I can't deal with that inconsistency because I eventually lose track, and I like.
But then you can wait till they're uploaded somewhere and do choose not to binge them, you know?
Yeah. Because they're usually not uploaded to anything. Usually, the only TV shows on streaming services are original ones nowadays.
That's not true. I find stuff all the time.
Old stuff, but like,
No,
look
not
at
even. Well, do
go.
you have Hulu?
I have Hulu, but that's got a time limit. You know, you got to watch that at a certain point in time, and then before it goes away.
What? No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, with some stuff, with other stuff, they're on there forever. But I'm talking about like new shows that are out right now, like something.
I don't think I've seen a new show that. Well, I have, but they've all been HBO.
So like, let's say like Better Call Saul, for example.
Oh, I do watch that.
I don't think that's on Hulu.
It's
But
not.
with Better Call, let's say Better Call Saul was on Hulu. When they drop an episode of Better Call Saul, you get it the next day on Hulu, but eventually that's going to go away.
No, I don't think it does go away.
Yeah, like okay, here's the here would be the situation. It
No,
would be like
it definitely doesn't just go away.
no, it does, and the key thing is like it doesn't have previous seasons. Like I'm gonna go on Hulu and find an
That's
example.
only okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But if the show that it is doing is on there and there happen to be new episodes, then once the new episode is on there, it's on there.
Like, let's find something. What's a show that they're making new episodes of that's also on Hulu?
That is on Hulu?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just tough. I'm trying to figure.
Well, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of television that's new.
Are they still making King of the Hill? No, I don't think they are.
No. They're still making Sunnies, aren't they?
Yeah, but let's check Sunny. I think they have all of, but not all of Sunny. They have. Yeah, I think they're missing a. Yeah, they're missing a season on Sunny. Yeah, they're behind a season on Sunny. See, like that's what you'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and they're a while behind on Sunny. It's been a while. But I want to try and find something that's on the air right now.
Well, I have no idea what is on the air right now.
Yeah, me neither. Nothing good. And because
honestly, you don't have HBO, do you?
I think I might have HBO.
Well, the show Chernobyl was very good.
Yeah.
And on Hulu right now is a show called The Terror. I maybe mentioned it before, but that was like last year that was on.
Terror.
It's an AMC show. It's very good.
Okay, General Hospital. This started in like 60s.
It's a long one.
Okay, yeah, see, this is a good example. General Hospital. They only have season 57.
Okay.
That's the only season they have. And eventually season 57 will be gone and they'll only have season 58.
Right.
So I feel like Hulu is the best way to look at how it's done. Because yeah, Hulu has Sunny, but they're behind on Sunny. And I don't want to.
So what is your problem?
Like I don't want to wait. Like yeah, sure, I could wait a year to watch a new episode, but I don't want to do that.
Okay, so what would be this? How do you solve that?
I feel like the best way for me to watch TV would be 20, however many episodes it is, and put those episodes back to back, week to week.
Yes, but that's what even Hulu does. You're just upset that the show hasn't even come out yet. That's not a problem.
No, Hulu. What do you mean Hulu does that?
Like
Hulu bases their releases on when TV shows release.
Right, which is still week by week.
Well, no, because it has all those breaks, and
not always.
Very frequently, I think the mid-season finale, like a mid-season break, I think that's pretty much a common thing now. I think most TV shows, if they're long, have those breaks.
Most TV shows that are long, yeah, they probably have a mid-season break. That's true, but that's like the only break. It's not like they're just random. Like one time it'll be every week, and then the next few times it'll be every 5 weeks.
no.
It's not like it's random.
It,
It's
it's a
either every week or they're on a break, or then it's back to every
no,
week.
no. It's
Yeah.
not like that. Trust
Well,
me.
the show that I watched was like that.
When? I mean, how long ago was this?
Well, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of shows with
Because
a lot
I
of
tell you,
episodes.
post Rider Strike, post 2006-7 Rider Strike, everything changed with how TV was done.
Well, I agree that that's definitely a phenomenon, but I just don't think it's as common as as you're implying.
Let me see, I'm gonna go CW. Let's do Arrow, because everyone loves Arrow.
Never seen it.
Arrow season 6. I want to see like the release date of these.
Just look up how many episodes there were, and then look at the times of the first date and the last date, and do the math.
Let me see this. 23 episodes.
Okay.
This started in October and ended in May.
Okay. Let me grab up my calculator. Do you have the actual dates?
Yeah, October 12th to May 17th.
Okay. How many days is that? That is.
Well, and
November, December, January, February, March, April, May. That's like 8 months.
8 months or 23. And well, let me just look at these release
8
dates
months,
too.
which is 32 weeks.
Yeah, that's
How many episodes were there?
23.
Okay.
Cool.
Which
So
means that there were 9 weeks that didn't have one.
but let me just do it like this. There should be, if they did, there would be 4 episodes a month. Now there's 3 in October, but it looks like it started late October, so that's okay. Let me see, November. There are 5 November. That happens sometimes. There's only 1 in December. That's early
so
December.
then that was where they took their sabbatical.
So they took a break to January, but there's only 2 in January. So there are 2 weeks off of January too.
Right. So like
then
the
there were
end of
only
December,
2,
beginning of January.
but there's only 2 in February also.
But February is a shorter month, but not by that short.
There could still be 2 in February. I mean, there could still be 4 in February.
Yeah.
And then there were only
Fair
3 in March. And there was definitely, because March was March 1, March 8, and March 29. There was definitely a random week skip in that.
Yeah, that is odd.
They do that a lot.
Annoying.
And I can't, with the way I work, I mean, the way my mind works, I got a lot of things to think about and keep track of. I don't have time to think like, okay, there's not going to be an episode of Arrow this week. I got to remember to check back into it next week. It's just like, oh, it's Thursday, time to watch Arrow.
Right, and then you can just sit down, and when Arrow's not on, you're like, okay, guess I'm doing something else, and then every week come back to it anyway, because it's bound to come back on. It's not like you have to put a lot of thought into it. The only reason I'm getting so arguing with you about this is that you are using the odd scheduling of television on cable to assert your statement that you have decided you won't watch new television for the rest of your life, which I A, don't believe, and B, even if I did, would think that was very extreme.
No, I didn't say I won't watch new television. Here's what I said.
You did.
No.
You said...
Here's specifically what I said. I'm not going to watch a new episode of a TV show that I haven't seen before. That doesn't mean I won't watch
Right,
new
so
TV.
you will not, from now on, you will not watch any television shows that you haven't already seen right now.
Okay, so to elaborate it more, if they make a new season of Sunny, I will watch Sunny.
Right, but you won't watch any new television shows.
Yes.
From now on, you're saying for the rest of your life, you will only watch the television shows that you have already at least in some way seen
Started.
this moment.
Think would be the I think would be the
I'm
better
telling
thing.
you
Started.
that is not only insane, but that is also a lie.
No, I don't think it's that insane, and I don't think it's a lie. And the quality of TV has dropped significantly.
That's where I will argue once again, you are looking in the wrong places. I don't think the quality of TV has dropped. I think there is a bigger shift in where to find good television.
None of these. The releases, they don't work. The televisions, the TV shows, just not as good. It's not as worth it because anything that is good isn't popular, and then it just ends and it gets canceled, and it's not a satisfying ending.
But I'm most shocked by what you're saying, Liam, or I most disagree with you. For one, I think everything you're saying is both wrong and, like, you're just lying to yourself. However, the most shocking thing of all of this is that you're saying that the quality of television has gone down, the way that TV is released is no longer functional for you, so you won't do any of it and you'll stick to movies. I would argue that the quality of television has not gone down at all. You're just looking in the wrong places. The quality of movies, however, have gone down significantly, and you're fine watching crap movies all the time.
Movies are easier though, because there's no commitment to movies.
Except for in this world where you have to see like 12 movies in a universe before you get the full story.
Okay, but the difference is those movies are pretty simple and basic.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Like I've seen Thor: The Dark World once. Okay, I don't need to refresh myself and see Thor: The Dark World
because it's terrible and it doesn't tell you anything and it's not really even art in any way.
It's simple enough.
Lots of good television still coming out.
Yeah, it's not even so much the quality. It's just I don't have a way. There's just no way to watch them, and I don't enjoy any of the ways.
There's every possible way to watch them.
No, there isn't.
All of the same ways you're watching the TV shows that you have already seen. I mean, it doesn't make any sense what you're saying.
It makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
There are shows that you can binge watch if that works for you. If that doesn't work for you, you can still just watch them whenever you want because all of them are uploaded. You don't have to follow any schedule. So literally anything that works for you, you can do. So you can't really use that as an argument.
It just doesn't work like that, though.
But it does.
No.
That's how I do it. Do you think every time I start a new show, I just sit down and watch the whole thing in 20 hours? No, absolutely not. It usually takes me months to finish a TV show because I watch it when I can, when I feel like it. But because I can. You can't tell me that you can't watch any television from now on that you haven't already seen because there's just no good way to watch it. That doesn't make sense.
It just isn't. I mean, there's no way that works for me.
What does work?
I told you, the 22 episodes in a week, like the
consistent. Do that. You can do that with binging. You can choose when to watch them.
But you're also not accounting in for the self-control factor.
Right. So really, the fault is with you. You don't have the self-control to choose when you do it. Is what you're saying?
I think the fault is with them.
No, it is not.
Doing it not doing it the proper way. The way it's been done.
Blame for your inability to stop yourself.
No. See, I just feel like the TV time of my life has passed.
Okay, and I understand that you believe what you're saying. I'm just here to remind you that that's complete nonsense.
No, I'm not gonna watch.
Maybe it isn't nonsense. Maybe it's true. You won't, just out of spite or whatever. But your thought process, your logic there is completely flawed.
No, it's just I feel like that time in my life has passed. Nothing has. So, like the best TV shows have already happened.
Do you read? You like read books?
Sometimes.
How?
Yeah. I read.
How long does it take you to read a book? Do you read a chapter every night? Do you just read it when you can? Do you read it all to go?
That's different. A book is a completely different thing than a TV show. You can't even compare the two. It's apples to oranges, Richard. It's apples to oranges.
Well, you can compare apples and oranges. So I'm wondering the answer here.
Everyone knows you can't. It's like a law. It's like an unwritten rule of the universe. You can't compare apples to oranges. If you could, why would they?
They're both round.
Why would they make it? Why would they make an expression about it, Richard? Why would they make an expression about
Whoever
it?
made that expression is an idiot, or we're vastly misunderstanding the original intent of that expression.
Yeah, sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night. I don't think it's that crazy of a thing to say. I mean, I don't know. And I'll make an exception to TV shows for properties that I'm invested in, like the Lord of the Rings TV show's coming out. I'll watch that.
Oh, okay. Now here come the exceptions.
I mean, that's one exception. I mean, because
I think this entire argument has boiled down to you trying to say, from now on, I'll only watch TV shows I'm interested in.
No. Well, and plus, I would say, is that really an exception? Because if the Lord of the Rings TV show is going to exist within the Lord of the Rings movie universe, then it's not breaking my rule, really.
Fair enough. I don't really care either way. I think your rule is dumb.
I just think there's better things I could do with my time, honestly, than watching some TV show that's not going to fulfill me much.
Yeah, you're right. There are, I'm sure, many better things to do with your time.
I could focus on
That doesn't mean that your logic is sound. You could have just told me, I'm not going to watch TV anymore because I've got better things to do. Then I would have been like, okay.
Well, it's a bit of both. Column A, column B.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I could be focusing on my stupid YouTube channel that's going nowhere.
Your wonderful podcasts.
And, I've been having good times watching these rummage sale movies, kind of.
Oh, yeah, there's another thing. You're totally fine wasting your time watching 5 movies that you have no interest in every week, but you can't sit down and watch a TV show.
You know how much time a TV show takes? I mean...
Not as much, about the same, less than 5 movies a week.
No, man, you don't realize. TV shows add up.
Yes, they do, Liam, but so do 5 movies a week.
5 movies? That's not much.
That is a lot. Let's say that the average length of the movie is almost 2 hours. Right? Then that's 10 hours a week. And if the average length of a TV show episode is an hour, and most TV shows nowadays have like 10 episodes a season, or 20 episodes a season at half an hour, that's also 10 hours. So you're watching an entire season of a show every week.
No.
Except this time, they're movies, or a show, that you don't care at all about.
And there's less commitment with these movies. I'm not signing up to watch another one or watch a whole season or rewatch the season later on when I have to remind myself what happened. Because, like, the show on Netflix, Ozark, that's a really good show. I watched season 1, I watched season 2, pretty much back to back. I have no idea what happened on that show. Season 3's coming up. I'm thinking, oh, great. I'm going to have to rewatch seasons 1 and 2 just so I'm not completely clueless when season 3 happens.
That's kind of your fault for not remembering what happened.
I can't remember every single damn TV show I've seen.
Then why do you make fun of me every time I say, well, I can't really remember whenever we're talking about any movie?
I don't remember this conversation happening, but...
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Every time you're like, name something, I'm like, well, I don't really remember. And you'll be like, well,
That doesn't sound like me at all. That sounds more like Dimitri. I frequently remember Dimitri making noise.
Yeah, none of this is good radio.
I think it's compelling radio because I know that they're going to be on my side about this.
Is any? No, they probably will because, yeah, that doesn't. You've got a weird following of little weirdos. Yeah, that's right. I said it.
You hear that, Joe? Richard just called you a weirdo because I know you're the only one that's listening to this right now, Joe.
Yeah, Dimitri's probably not even listening to this.
I think Dimitri might listen to yours, but I mean, Dimitri's a weirdo too, so.
I'm definitely gonna listen to the one with Joe.
Yeah. They've already listened to the one with Joe at this point.
At this point, yeah, it's true.
Because this isn't going up until a couple Mondays from now. I got to do another one of these on Thursday with Dimitri.
Right.
It's so tough to get the two of you guys in one place together, but that's fine with me because that's more.
I was trying, man.
Yeah, and I'm always available. It's like
Yeah,
Fourth
that's fair,
of July, the one time I got like actual shit I want to do.
True. Yeah, I didn't see that actually. I really couldn't have done that anyway.
Yeah. But I'm definitely the most available between the three of us.
This is true.
Even when I had like a full. See, I don't understand it sometimes too, because like I'm working full time at the hospital. Dimitri's part time at Walmart, and I'm still more available than him.
Well, your job isn't your only commitment. For one,
Still.
Dimitri probably has friends.
You mean us?
Fair enough.
I mean, Dimitri might have other friends, but I doubt he has friends he likes as much as us.
I feel like it would be impossible for him to not have friends that he likes better than us. I can't imagine liking us that much.
I feel like you don't know Dimitri if you think. Wait, so what you're saying is you think Dimitri does have friends he likes more than us?
I was making a joke implying that we're horrible and that I can't imagine anyone liking us more than anyone else.
Okay, I guess you just got. Your method of saying it just got really complicated and confusing.
Yeah, that was on me.
A lot of knots and negatives and like, wait, what? No, he's not, never. Like, what?
Quintuple negative.
I guess it's like you don't. There's less pain if you just don't watch TV.
Yeah, once again, I'm not making fun of you for not watching TV. I'm just saying that your excuses for it were weird and not right.
It just feels like this would be a good time to stop. Because the Netflix Marvel stuff has ended. Gotham ended. Even AP Bio was canceled.
Right, but there are still lots of good TV shows. In fact, most of those shows that you just listed, I haven't even watched. But, I mean, there are good ones.
Oh, it's fleeting. It's fleeting joy, and then, how many of these TV...
A movie isn't fleeting? A movie's more fleeting.
Well, maybe it's... Well, it's... I guess it's more... I guess the fact that it's more fleeting is a good thing, because TV shows are dragged on fleeting. Or maybe I'm just trying to be using the word fleeting. But...
Yeah.
How many of those TV shows are going to end like Game of Thrones?
Hopefully none of them, but definitely some of them.
And that's another problem. It's like, I signed up for this. I committed this amount of my time in my life for this.
I'll give you that.
You're going to hear some bells and go crazy?
That's disappointing when that happens.
Like that's what I signed on for?
Movie is a waste of 3 hours at most. A bad TV show is a waste of up to years.
And see, with those rummage sale movies, I'm not expecting good stuff here. like if I watch one of these movies and it's terrible, it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. I wasn't expecting greatness.
Yeah.
Like if I went into Toy Story 4 and it sucked, I would be, I would be upset.
Hmm.
So I guess it's just about tempering your expectations and knowing that, knowing that I'm probably gonna like this. I'm probably not gonna like this. This movie isn't gonna be for me. Like, I'm not gonna see, the, what was it? I'm not gonna see Frozen 2. I have no interest in Frozen 2. I'm not gonna like Frozen 2, so I'm not gonna see it.
Right.
But with the TV show, you don't know. Like Westworld, you don't know how much longer that's going to go on for. What is it, season 2 right now?
There have been 2 seasons.
So I mean, are they making a 3?
I don't know. Probably they shouldn't, but they probably are. The season 2 was good, but you can already see that it was not of the same quality as the first season.
Yeah, and
Maybe
then,
not everyone agrees with me there, but
and then that's a whole other thing too. You get the decrease in quality. Decrease. Anyone who's seen the TV show Heroes is gonna know what I'm talking about. Look at that. Well, that was a. That, listen here, pal. The Heroes was like a great first season. I think season 1 of Heroes is like the greatest season of TV I've seen. But boy, does that show just consistently go downhill every season, and it's
Yeah, it
sad.
happens a lot more often than should.
Like you don't know
How about this?
what.
What about shows that like aren't really plot driven? Like, let's say Rick and Morty, right? You don't need to keep up with it at all. Or even Always Sunny. You don't really need to keep up with it. You could drop yourself in any season and you'd get it, right? What about shows like that? You wouldn't even watch those?
I don't know, because that's not really how I process stuff. Like even though you don't have to watch them in every order, I feel like I would still have to and want to.
Okay.
I mean, it's like I don't know. I would like get paranoid, like, well, did I miss something? Because sometimes there is. Sometimes there is something that happens that's important that you need to see and know. I don't know.
Sometimes.
It's just less pain this way. Because like think of this Westworld. You're really liking Westworld, and I have heard good things about Westworld.
Well, I don't want to imply that Westworld was like my favorite TV show of any or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, see, you don't know about Westworld. They could have a season 3, and it could suck. They could have another season, or they could say, okay, season 3, it's going to be our last one. Last episode is terrible, like Game of Thrones. You don't know that. You're committing so much to something that you don't know when it's going to end, or if it's going to end, or how well it's going to end.
On that note, speaking of committing time to things that you don't know when they're going to end, I have to get going.
Okay, well, I will talk to you later, and I'll end the podcast here. Thanks for listening, guys, and I will